Hi everyone, happy Tag Tuesday. Today I am doing the quarterly year crisis book tag, and I was tagged by not one but two wonderful, fantastic, spectacular booktubers. I was tagged by Krista at Books and Jams, who is fantastic, and Berna at Berna's Bookish Adventures. So if you want to hear my answers to the tag, stay tuned. Hello everyone, and welcome to Book Talks with Miss Thomas. I'm Miss Thomas, and if you are new here and you like to talk about books, please consider subscribing. And if you're old like me, welcome back. Now, not everyone's old like me, but maybe a returning person. Welcome back to the younger people too. Sorry about that. Anyway, I am doing the quarter year crisis book tag, and I was thrilled to be tagged by Books and Jams and Berna's Bookish Adventure. So it was just such a treat, and they are both fantastic booktubers. So I will link them down below and you can check them out. I have my notes here because I want to make sure I give credit. The original tag was created by Roisen's Reading, and I will put that in the description box as well. Okay, so let's hop to it. Question number 1, how many books have you read so far? And I struggled with this one. I had to check my reading journal, and it was funny because I had really great notes in my reading journal. Look at all that I wrote in my reading journal up until really maybe February, mid-February. So clearly, now that's a later question, but clearly something I need to work on is my reading journal. But I stopped about halfway through. In order to answer this question correctly, I went through all of my videos and all of my calendars and my library account, and I realized that I actually read 18 books so far this year and 3 DNF books. So if you count the DNFs, it's 19, 20, 21, but I'm only going to count 18. And 18 is fine with me because I'm active in my church. I'm a full-time teacher. I am in grad school. I'm a mom. I volunteer at my son's school. So I'm happy with 18. I know some of you guys amaze me. I watch your videos and I think, how? But, 18, I'm proud of, in addition to all the other things I have going on. And the next question is, have you already found a book you think might be a 2022 favorite? Okay, so a favorite book this year. And if not, what was your favorite book you read that wasn't quite 5-star? So I had to look up the books that were published in, 2022 this year. And I would say The Maid. The Maid would be my favorite book that was published in 2022 this year so far. I did not give it 5 stars because I had trouble with the way the main character was treated. And I know that's just part of the book, and it contributes to the plot and so forth, but it just bothers me. It's cringy, when people are unkind, and to take advantage of someone who is, in my opinion, she had Asperger's. I'm not really sure. I'm not, qualified to diagnose a character in a book, but she had something and people were taking advantage of her, and that bothered me. And I know that's part of the story, but for that reason, I gave it 4 stars. It was still an excellent book, and I do recommend it. I'm just very tender-hearted. That kind of thing bothers me. I don't like to see unkindness. That said, which seems ironic because I love murder mysteries, so I don't know. I guess I'm a contradiction in and of myself. Let's see. Any 1-star books, least favorite book of the year. Now, this is not going to make me popular, but I have to say my least favorite book published this year was a DNF. It's in my DNF video, and that would be The Sentence by Louise Penny. I have to say, honestly, too, when I started to read the book, I got maybe a third of the way through. And maybe it was more than halfway. I tried and tried because I was really excited to read this book. I thought it was going to be a lovely book about women in a bookstore and maybe some funny stories about a little ghost haunting. And it was a very heavy, very serious book, and I just wasn't ready for that. And I will also say about the sentence that there was a lot of political, it was clearly like a political voice in that book. And so I loaned it to somebody with a completely different political view, thinking that, and I told them, I said, hey, I didn't like this book, but maybe you will. I'm eager to hear your thoughts. And she gave it back to me and she said, I couldn't finish that book. I hated that book. So it wasn't just because of my personality, my ideology. It simply just didn't appeal to me, and it didn't appeal to someone from a completely different perspective. So that said, I would give the sentence 1 star. If that. There were so many things in there too that just really offended me. Like one of the characters was in a pornography film and we're supposed to like her. And there was some immoral things that bothered me. There was a lot about that book that bothered me. So, most read genre so far, I would say I like mystery and I like young adult. Well, I like mystery. Mystery is my favorite. As a little girl, I loved Nancy Drew and Scooby-Doo, and then when I got older, there was Scrappy-Doo. I'm a sucker for a mystery. But I've been reading an awful lot of young adult fiction lately, and I will get into that in another video, but a couple of other videos. I'm getting ready to start a project for young adult Christian readers. I'm trying to come up with a list of books that are lovely and engaging, that don't have anything in conflict with the Bible, that I'm hoping I can create a list and generate that for BookTube. I'm not judging people who read things that, are in conflict with the Bible. I mean, everybody has to answer to their own, in my case, the Holy Spirit. But I read books. I mean, I read some books. I like Harlan Coben, and there's some stuff in there that I wouldn't recommend to a young adult Christian reader. However, as the mother of, 2 Christian children, and as someone who volunteers in a Christian school, I want to create a list of books that are interesting and engaging for young adult readers. And so I've been on the hunt, and I've been reading a lot of books that I'm hoping, wouldn't have anything objectionable. And then, of course, a couple of books. I mean, this one book I got into, and it was like 100 pages, and I was like, yeah, this is really good. This is going well. And then the kids whip out a Ouija board. And it's not that I can't, deal with a chapter that mentions a Ouija board, but I definitely couldn't recommend that to somebody who's looking for a Christian book. So it's a project I'm getting ready to start. And I'm going to call it the Philippians 4 Project. And that said, a book that surprised you, I would say, I know because I love mysteries so much and I talk about plot twists sometimes, that would be the expected answer. And I'm going to go outside of the box, and I'm going to go with a book that surprised me because I really loved it a lot more than I had anticipated. And that book is called The Insignificant Events in the Life of a Cactus. I liked it so much that I bought it. I don't know if I have it. I'll have to put it on the screen. I'll put it here on the screen. But I volunteered for my son's school, and I was at the book fair. I was asked to volunteer for the book fair. And I was asked to take home some books and read them and see if there's anything objectionable in them. And so I took a stack of books and I read them, and I will have a video posted about that whole experience. But one of the books I absolutely loved was The Insignificant Events in the Life of a Cactus. And it was a young adult book about a girl who didn't have arms. And so she was just born without arms. And so she had to eat with her feet. And it was a very fun book. I mean, I know that's a horrible thing to be born without arms, but she just went about her life. She was really good at soccer. She made lots of friends. She had a great family. And it was just a very lovely book, and I enjoyed it immensely. And I think when I picked it up, I was expecting it to be on about fourth grade level. So I was looking at it as a parent, like homework. I'm going to look at this book and give it back if it's acceptable. And I ended up really getting engrossed in it and enjoying it immensely. So that was a lovely, pleasant surprise. And then I volunteered at the book fair, and I'm going around telling people that one was good. Oh, that one was good. And I couldn't sell it to anybody. So I ended up buying it for myself. So I guess it kind of surprised me that no one else wanted to read it, but I loved it. So that was a surprise. That book was published, though, in 2017. So I guess it's a backlisted book as well, since that's a topic lately. Backlisted books I've discovered through Sarah's Nightstand and Lindsay's Little Library. So they have a backlisted book readathon. They had it, it's passed, but I just want to put that out there that this is a really good backlisted book, Insignificant Events in the Life of a Cactus. Okay. A book that's come out in 2022 already that you want to read but haven't yet read yet. And I had to look that up. I'm so busy with the books I already have and the books that are available at the library that I don't know of any new ones. This one might be, I think this one was published this year, Build Your House Around My Body. I got it from the library and it sounded pretty good. I'm not sure. Oh, it's 2021. Never mind. But I did look. I looked at books that were published in 2022, and I saw Booklovers either is coming out or will come out soon, and it's called Booklovers by Emily Henry. And I thought, Emily Henry wrote Beach Read, and I really enjoyed Beach Read, so I would probably like Booklovers. I'll look for that one. And then I saw that Foley came out with a book, and I didn't like the Foley book. I forget, I don't even remember Foley's first name. I should have written it in my notes, but she wrote that book that I thought was a ripoff of an Agatha Christie book. It was called The Guest House, and Lucy Foley wrote The Guest House, and I was really not impressed with that book at all. So I did a review on it, and I said it was okay, but it just seemed like she took Agatha Christie and made a book. And then she has a new one coming out that I saw, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not interested in that. Some people on BookTube have been talking about Cold Cases, and that one sounds pretty good. I might be interested in that one. But I'm going to go with Booklovers because it looks nice and light and fun, and I'm a book lover, so why not? One goal you made that you're succeeding at, and I have to say, I was so excited. Thank you, Krista and Berna, for having me do this tag because it forced me to go through all the books I've read and figure out exactly what I've read. I haven't really thought much about my goals. But when I told my students originally that, we were trapped in COVID when I started this channel, we were all home, and I was encouraging them to read more for fun since they were home. And I made a pledge to myself, and I shared with my students, I would read one book a week. And so I have read exactly 18 books, 21 if you count my DNFs. So give me some extra credit, 21, but I'll say 18. And I actually went through my calendar, and we are exactly 18 weeks into the year. So if you go from January to now, that's 18 weeks, and I've read exactly 18 books from cover to cover, and then there were some DNFs. So I have met my goal precisely. And I know that may not seem like a lot, but like I say, I have a lot of other things that I do. I know everyone does. I hope that doesn't sound like, I'm so, I don't mean it that way at all. I just mean that, I have to read, like, usually when I'm waiting in the car for one of my children to get out of whatever, or my husband ran in the grocery store and I'm sitting in the car reading. So I do a lot of like reading in between things. I do think though that if I had some more audiobooks, I did listen to a couple of audiobooks. I didn't count those. So that would probably increase my numbers. And I am thinking maybe I need to start paying more attention to audiobooks. I'm definitely seeing the benefits of that. Okay, one goal you need to focus on get back to. And originally I had said healthy living. I actually lost 30 pounds once. I've gained over 10 of them back, maybe 15 of them back. So I would like to go back to that, 30-pound loss. I would like to go back to what I had deemed my ideal weight. I can live with being 15 pounds beyond my ideal weight, 15 pounds overweight. But I would like, and I saw my doctor recently, and he said, you need to eat healthier and you need to exercise more. Because I went to him and I said, I am so tired. Why am I so tired? And my husband and I both, everything was fine. All my tests that the doctor ran came back fine, except a slight vitamin D deficiency. And my husband also had a slight vitamin D deficiency. And my husband was saying, it's probably the sunshine. We get our vitamin D from sunshine, and we're really missing that sunshine. So I am definitely not exercising and eating as well as I could. But when I looked at my book, my book journal, and I did count how many books I've read, I went from here to, you've got to see this, to here. So I did write them down, but there's about 10 books that I need to write something about and talk about, books that, I've actually read so that I can have a reference and have notes for them. So I will do that. I will definitely do that. Eat healthier and get back to my book journal. I was also thinking maybe I would start like a Goodreads account or something, and then I could look in that account and see the things I've read. That might be something, I don't know how Goodreads works, but that might be something that would help me keep better track of what I'm reading. Okay. New booktubers. Oh yeah, I can't wait for this. Okay, so new to you booktubers, new to you booktubers, bookstagrammers or booktokers. I'm an old woman. I don't watch TikTok. I think that's a TikTok. Booktokers. One of my students said I should TikTok because I make a lot of shorts, and my student was like, oh yeah, they would be really popular on TikTok. And I'm like, I just don't know about TikTok. But yeah, so new booktubers, we're just going to go with that. New to me booktubers that I would recommend. So Latasha Haynes reads. Latasha Haynes reads. She is fantastic. She's this new booktuber. She's just so lovely. And I'm just really impressed with her. And we need to go and subscribe to her channel. If you haven't subscribed, why not? Because every time I look at her channel and I think, gosh, she doesn't have a lot of subscribers, and she's really a very good booktuber. So I would say Latasha Haynes Reads is a new booktuber that I really recommend. Read by Fred is just delightful. He comments on my videos, and I've looked at his channel, and I have to say, just about every thumbnail, I think there's one thumbnail where he's not drinking that green cup of coffee, and I think, whoa, Fred, you drink way too much coffee. But he's really a good booktuber, a great guy. He comments on my channel. I don't necessarily share his taste in books. Like he had video on Star Trek and sci-fi, and that's not really my genre, but he is a great booktuber. So I recommend Read by Fred and Red Dot Reads. I love Red Dot Reads, and MJ over at Reading This Life, I think it's called. So I will put them in the description box below, and I would definitely recommend them. And guess what? I'm also tagging them. So if I've mentioned you in this video, you're tagged. And if you weren't mentioned in this video and you want to do the video, just say I tagged you, because the more the better, right? Everybody should go out there and do this tag and have lots of fun. Thank you so much for listening, and look for my Philippians 4 project. I'm really excited about having a project that I really care about and can sink my teeth into. You know, I've been out here in BookTube for a year now, just reading books and talking about books, and I feel like I'm floating. And then when I discovered this mission that I'm on to discover books that I could recommend, you know, to young adult Christians, I really found that that's where my heart is. And so it's something that I am going to get, I'm going all in. So look for that. That's coming up probably this week or next week. All right. I hope you're out there and you're reading and you're taking care of yourself and you're staying safe and you're being kind. And I'm not gonna I've been meaning to say this. If anybody hasn't told you yet lately, you matter. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, and you matter. So I will leave you with that. Bye for now.